What is good, guys? Hope you are well. Happy New Year. This is the first one post the big New Year's Eve, and depending on how you spent it, we were in bed by 10:30 because that is life with little people. I hope you had a really good one, and I hope you're also ready to crack back on, because I think this week is a really important week for many people. You know, the Christmas period, that New Year period. Everyone's had a good time, everyone's had fun, everyone's probably gone a little bit more crazy than they planned to, they wanted to, they expected to. And this week just offers you that opportunity to settle back in again. Find a bit of rhythm, find a bit of routine. Kids are probably back at school, you're back at work, like everything is settling back into normality. And it's really important that you capitalize on that, because if that sort of Christmas, New Year's period carries on any longer, your weight is probably going to continue to trend upwards, and we definitely don't want to see that happen. So even if you have come back after that period a little bit heavier than you went into it, hopefully not too much, but if you have, try not to panic, try to just use this as the opportunity to reset, refocus, and really get back into the swing of things. And hopefully all of those sort of leftovery foods have disappeared out of the house, like the chocolates, all of that party food that you get in just in case someone pops around and they might need 25 sausage rolls and a whole prawn ring and whatever other nonsense people get in at this time of year. Hopefully pretty much all of that food has disappeared now, and like I say, the house feels a little bit more normal again. So I'm back to it, not quite as much as I had hoped. I'm still carrying this funny little niggle in my elbow, and I'm trying to sort of work around it. I'm probably taking a little bit more rest at the moment than I ordinarily would, and that I would necessarily like to, but I'm just trying not to aggravate it too much, really trying to let it calm down and let it settle and just get back to feeling good, because the sooner that happens, the sooner I can get back to like pushing things again. And that's where I want to be. Like, I don't want to be carrying this niggle for any longer than I have to, any longer than I need to. So I've taken a bit of extra time off, as I say, than I'd planned to or than I'd like to. But I'm also trying to be sensible and trying to listen to my body a little bit more these days. So I've had a few training sessions in the past week, and they've been good. The elbow hasn't been too bad on most of those, and like I say, that is a good sign that things are getting back to normal. I just need to make sure that I'm not like letting that slip. I'm not pushing things too hard too soon, and like I say, just giving that the opportunity to get back to normal. Scales this week for me are up about £0.5 pound, which is actually perfect. I'm in a phase of growth. I'm trying to gain more muscle. I'm pushing hard to do that. So for me, the scales are actually going in the right direction, and £0.5 pound is perfect. So anywhere around that sort of £0.5 pound, possibly up to £1 a week is okay when it comes to gaining. You want to be pushing, you want that body weight to trend upwards, but you don't want it to go too fast. So yeah, £0.5 pound is all good. And to be honest, I've been pretty much on plan when it comes to food. Like Christmas Day itself, I think did I mention last week? I would have mentioned last week because Christmas would have happened. God, I'm so lost. This is the trouble at this time of year. No one knows what day of the week it is. Last week's episode, Christmas Day must have happened. So all of that was okay. Everything was on plan. Everything was on track, other than Christmas Day itself. Couple of little bits here and there, but nothing that strayed too far. Like largely trying to stick to my typical 4 meals a day, and not really, allowing things to sway too far from that. And that's why the progress is where it's at. There's no check-in for me this week in terms of checking in with my coach, Christian. He's using this opportunity to take a week off, something that us coaches are notoriously bad at. It's very much worth saying. I'd be surprised if any coach in this industry takes more than 1, maybe 2 weeks off a year where we don't do check-ins. And even then, we're in touch with clients, we're getting messages, we're replying. It's a funny old thing, and don't get me wrong, like we all love it and we're all very grateful to be in a position to do it, but it does mean that it really is like a 24/7 job. Like you don't get the opportunity to switch off. It's not like being in the employed world where you get 4, 5, 6+ weeks holiday a year, where that does mean that you can not open your computer, you can not check your emails, you can genuinely switch off. I think when you're self-employed, you just find it extremely difficult to do that. It's something that all of us are probably trying to work on as well, like the actually taking a step back, because we know it's going to do us good. We know we're going to come back feeling fresher, but it doesn't make it any easier to do in the moment. So yeah, we're definitely in a funny old world where we try our best to do it, but we don't always succeed. I'm still keeping, in terms of like the sort of process that I take myself through, as if I would check in anyway. So all of my data is up to date on the sheet. I'll take my progress pictures. I'll still fill out that document as if I was going to check in. I simply won't send those pictures to Christian and tell him that I've checked in, so that he can, have a bit of a break and not feel the need to reply to stuff. So, which he wouldn't do anyway. So I'm going to go through that process, and my pictures I'll share with you in tomorrow's update. But in terms of where I'm at personally, £0.5 pound up, very, very much ready and raring to get 2026 going, get back into full rhythm and flow, get back to, some really good sessions, progressing those sessions, seeing, body weight, strength, muscle mass increase. And then at some point, I will be entering a photo shoot prep. That is yet to be decided exactly when it's going to be, but I do turn 40 this year towards the end of March, which is a big birthday. One that's come at me relatively quickly. It's funny because I was I had my first call with Andy, my sort of new life coach therapist, on Saturday, and it was a funny conversation because 40 is a weird age, and he sort of expressed it quite well. Like, you suddenly realize that 40 years of your life have passed very, very quickly. Like, to think that you've been alive for 40 years, and you think about how fast that has gone, and you start to probably at this age think a little bit more about your own mortality, because, and it sounds really morbid and it sounds really negative, but the average age of a male in this day and age is something like 82 years old. Now, I don't consider myself average. I keep myself fit and healthy. I train, I eat well. I do all of the things that I would like to believe will extend my life further than that. But it does start to bring that into perspective a little bit more. And so I think I want to mark this occasion with something quite special, and a photo shoot is going to be that thing for me. So, as I get into prep, I'll obviously document that for you, and I'll take you through that process with me. But for the time being, there's still some more growing to do. And also, as I get deeper into that sort of life coaching therapy, I will share more and more on that. This was an initial call. It was an opportunity for a bit of a sort of get to know you type situation, share a little bit more about me, where I'm at. And there were some epiphany moments in that, some aha moments. And one of those probably was, like I say, about age. Like, age in and of itself doesn't really mean anything, right? Like, being 40 doesn't change from being 39. Nothing actually changes. But something in your head starts to think differently, rightly or wrongly. But I think if you use it in the right way, you can use it as a positive thing. Like, you can drive you forward to really push yourself hard in the next, 2, 5, 10 years to get yourself to a fantastic position in life. And I think, we probably all give ourselves a little bit too much grace, a little bit too much leeway. But actually, if you put in a lot of work in a short space of time, you can get a hell of a lot done. And I think you'd be surprised, like everyone would probably be surprised at just how much they can get done if they push themselves. So that's something that I'm determined to do. There's a lot of goals that I have. There's a lot of things I want to achieve. And I really want to drive things forward this year and use this year as a massive opportunity to push ahead. So yeah, I'll be back again with the next part of this tomorrow, with the pictures, with the update. But I hope everyone had a fantastic Christmas and New Year and is ready and raring to go for 2026.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange. try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when it's evening. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated.
Fuck it, kill my enemy, dropping the beat. Fuck it, isolation, I shit up a shit. Think I'm a dick, bitches are better, think I'm a dick. I get so late, shout out to those cats that they got in. Regarding how to push on the car, and I'm like, do you need me? Try to shine it was a little bit, park on it, but I was a little bit. There's a pretty one,觉得总是想要跟你打我的，让我知道你在不地，一点一点把你胸口扭打回去。我在这社会睡来，我在被你自己归过。我跟我弟兄和背过，你看你个人的肩上背我，想你叫大大，是个妄想能够暂时不能活快，是不是傻？人家不想弄到的傻，要迷惑只有爱大。城市黄河怎么才让你？把你当成谁的给你讲把你，去看到没有老子说的好的 money， 出的是穷你妈的二把你。现在这个游戏已经被我操控，天才雷操作你肯定看得懂，不是一堆人根本就耍不拢，他在打的你身上的感觉痛，请不要在背后叽叽喳喳，不得下大胜过 happy， 闭上你的嘴巴，我不想听你的越把的节奏对的现在，除了下口吃饭睡听到烂的，我的傻子你不好估计节奏，看回各位是对我口。Fuck it, kill my enemy, drop the beat. Fuck it, 你是雷手，我心都不行。Suck on my D, suck on my D, bitches are repeating, suck on my D. Pack it so lean. 遇到的快想 suck on me. Fuck it.
What is good, guys? So this is going to be the final part of this week's YouTube, and it is a bloody cold one today. It was -8 when I dropped Lara off at the station this morning. The car had snow, ice, inside and out, which is always fun. And at some point today, I've got to put the roof box on because we've got a trip coming up. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun to be getting on with. But it is what it is. So what you will have seen in today's video is me giving you a little bit of an update as to where things are at, and also taking you through my back and hamstring session. As I mentioned in the first part of the video, like training's been a little bit sporadic lately, just with a lot of stuff going on. And it's going to be the same for the rest of the week. So I'm not going to be training for the rest of the week. We've got a trip coming up, which means I'm not going to be able to get to the gym. There's lots of stuff going on. And then it'll mean that Monday is sort of that restart for me. I hate that, like, you know, like I'll get started again on Monday type thing. But for me, it's just the realism of the situation at the moment. Monday's going to happen, and I'm then going to commit again to the 5 o'clock in the morning sessions, assuming Lara's not in Paris that day. Because if Lara's in Paris that day, then 5 o'clock in the morning isn't going to happen, because everything gets a bit crazy with getting up in the morning and sorting Louis and stuff out. So We'll see, but next week is the proper restart for 2026 for me. I'll pop the pictures up just so you can have a little look at those. As I also mentioned yesterday, there's no check-in with Christian today. He is on holiday. He's taking a little break, and fair play to him because he's a busy man. So he's having a little bit of time off. He worked over Christmas. I know he was, like doing check-in replies on Christmas Day. So he takes the little bit of time off slightly later in the year, which is fine. So no formal check-in. So everything remains the same. Again, as I mentioned yesterday, about £0.5 pound up on the scales, which is fantastic for where I need to be. And yeah, just looking forward to a fairly steady week, getting back into things as best possible, and then getting back into things properly from next week. So next week's video is largely going to be an update on just how things have gone. And then the week after that, you'll probably get a proper sort of, right, I've had a week back on things and here's where we're at. But I hope you're all good. I hope no one's like getting too cold and too frustrated with this weather. I don't like it at all. It's pretty to look at for 2 minutes, but it's an absolute nightmare if you want to do anything. Even when we went out this morning, driving to the station, we literally got 30 seconds to the end of our road and there's a lorry stuck there because its wheels were just spinning in the ice. So I had to reverse, I had to go back out the road the other direction. Yeah, just an absolute nightmare. And I know what you're thinking, why didn't you get out and help the poor guy in the lorry? Because I had my wife in the car who needed to get to the train station to get to work, and my 18-month-old son there probably freezing his poor little nuts off. So, but yeah, anyway, hope you're all good. I hope you're not feeling too cold, staying warm, keeping healthy, and had a fantastic start to 2026 so far.